Hello, good morning. Good day to every one of you. My name is Shah and I will be your MC for today. Once again, welcome to the first session Cyber Podium for CYDES 2023. Please feel free to have the seats because we're about to start the session later on. Alright? So, fantastic, fantastic. I'm really glad to meet all of you here today. So, how's everyone's doing? Good? Alright, absolutely. So, basically, for today's Cyber Podium, we're going to have presentations from our three respective exhibitors, namely from Sangfor Technologies, followed by Crest, and last but not least from Deloitte Company. So, feel free to have the seat while the beginning will start soon. Alright? So, for today, for the starter of the day, the talk will be mainly about Sangfor Cyber Guardian MDR services through the lens of a security analysis. Representing Sangfor Technologies Sdn Bhd, we have Mr. Keith Lee here as our subject matter expert. They're going to present the ideas to us in the Cyber Podium session. Please welcome Mr. Keith Lee to be on stage.
Thank you. Wait, let me some time to setting up previously with the PDF, so I will use my own laptop to do the presentations. My section is on and 10:45, right? 10:55, huh? Okay. Wait, I set my clock so that I will ensure I will do overtime lah. Okay, all right. So, good morning, everyone. So, yeah. So today's I don't call it as a presentation because this is open areas. So normally it's more on the open sharings discussions. So if anyone got any questions, you can stop me anytime, and then it's open discussion sections. So yeah, I would like to say thank you also because it's just like the door is just open on 10 o'clock actually. Okay, and now it's actually still on very early morning, and you guys still fresh. So I'm in the first station, and we'll be very honest. My name is Keith from Sangfor, so Deputy Country Manager from Sangfor. So today my session right actually will be called on cyber guidance. So a lot of people still actually not really know what is actually cyber guidance is. So the real technology that usually in behind the scene is the NDR, Network Detection and Response. And recently, right, in the governments or other sectors, you guys most frequently heard about what? NOC, SOC, NDR, SDR, all these words. So today I'm also here to actually explain to you what is the technology in behind and how Sangfor utilize this technology that help the government customer to boost their IT technology and as well as the security. So, yep. So you can see the state of security in 2020. Why 2020? Because we want to review back, right? What in 2020, what is actually happening on in the industry and the market. So the first of thing is actually the ransomware. So I still talking about it because ransomware topic, I think I will cover for 4 or 5 years, but still a very hot topic. Why? Because ransomware is emerging. Some more, not only ransomware is emerging. Please remember, it's hot topic also recently. It's about the GPT. Previously, now a lot of people starting to use the GPT to train the ransomware. Have you heard about that before? No, right? Or no, or yes lah. Yes, is it happening right now? So that will becoming more and more a new trend of a security threats will be happening in the markets. So it just that depends on how advanced you use the dependent tools against this kind of the security trend in the market. So because all this happening, so the cybersecurity become all the very demanding. In fact, this event actually is is all talking about CYDES because the cybersecurity Malaysia have been come up with the frameworks. But all these framework, how to apply, who to apply, and what to apply, all these things actually will become a big question marks in all the government sector in the upcoming year. Not only this year, upcoming year, because this framework and this security will be happening at least 5 or 10 years. All right. So that also actually Sangfor on behalf of this, we are actually help the government customer actually how to do the compliances, regulatory and so far. Okay, and the number 4, which is the attack surface getting bigger. Okay, so a lot of people using the JPTT or the AI, TEI or do the attacking analysis. So and then the government, right, a lot of legacy applications still become and more SP, Windows 7s, or all the legacy server use up to 10 years or 20 years. So all these legacy server still need to maintain. Why? Previous vendors lost contact, or the end user about the engineers don't know how to manage because have been the technology involved, but applications still using the old. When you want to upgrade, limitation on the hardware and also the software because the old software do not support the new hardware architecture. This all will become the issues when you want to grow. Okay, so the impact of the cybersecurity, but all this just now I mentioned, right? Although it's a fact, but sorry, I should show this one. Okay. So what keep you guys is actually aware about what you need to do. Actually, we differentiate about different aspect, which is the security operation concerns. So all these security concern, right? Although it's a lot, but based on this, right, I highlighted 2 most important part that we need to do it right now. The very first one will be the skill shortage. Because in government or in all industry, yes, people know how important it's about the cybersecurity. I know what is the tool I actually should apply. NOC, SOC, those tools, all the brand, I know what to do. But do we have enough people, manpower, and also the skill to adopt this kind all the tools inside environments? That will be also a question mark. Because I will be engaging with Mampu and also the NAXA. So how to actually we help to build the talent in Malaysia for them to adopt a cybersecurity talented. Because all these things, right, actually never been studied in the school. Do you agree? Because I'm the first batch of information security students in Malaysia. And in fact, all the syllabus that been covered in the university, right, they only tell you a very surface thing and open source to how to do a forensic security science or how to prevent the information security. But in fact, the detailed one, actually the syllabus in the university, that not being covered. That actually create an impact to Malaysia is that our people is not ready to adopt the cybersecurity. And in fact, if you want to do that, right, you need to import the people from other region to the Malaysia. That will be increase the manpower, time, and also cost will be implemented. So the second more important is about lack of knowledge. Not to say lack of knowledge in the people who do the skill on all this operation, but the industry didn't have a proper guideline or also the courses that apply into this. For example, those like, I don't know what else the name, but the training institute. Okay, so does the governments in the Malaysia, the training institute, have the capacity enough for the people to train the people to become a cyber security expert? If even though become the cyber security expert, does these people capable to actually help the restorations or find the root cause when there is a cyber security incident occur? So this will be also a big question mark for all the government's cyber security industry right now. So that is the 2 biggest, but I don't cover all because it will be more complex, but we talked about these 2 and then we drill down into details furthermore. Okay, so upcoming, what is the cybersecurity challenge that basically will be covering on in one organization? This one, too many. I will just touch and go for this one challenges because I believe you guys know better than I. So the first thing is also the, like always in firefighting mode, okay? Because the economy, financial skill impact, and then our government website or the government data, like HDN, all those important data, easily being targeted by the outsider. So this I can say outsider and insider. Insider is possible because it stay inside Malaysia, and then they know what is Malaysia economy, what is the loophole they're going in. And then outsider also, they may be out of the Malaysia, but they use some of the techniques actually to get inside the Malaysia environments and then launch some of the attack. So all this will be happening every day. And then we do not have, like what I mentioned now, insufficient skill actually to do this kind of detections, preventions, and also the response. So these three is the keyword, detections, analysis, and also response, because they will be covering more in the following skill, in the following slide. So with the Sangfor Cyber Guardian MDR actually to resolve what I've been mentioning just now. Because people's skill, all is very important. But I just let you know what is the Sangfor overview that we cover and then resolve the challenge. The first thing that actually is a better security, because we provide 24/7. If you ask the, so sorry to say, if you ask the government, yes, they operate need to be 24/7. But the people, do they take the night shift or what? Yes and no questions, or maybe. So, but for us, it's a strong compliance for our company to actually enforce this one. So we do provide 24/7 to our customer in Malaysia. In fact, Sangfor is, although it's a China company, but we have 60 people based in Malaysia. We have also virtual SOC office being developed based in Malaysia as well. So the second is better visibility. All the people is talking about visibility all the time. Because without the visibility, you do not know what is the security incident been happening in your environment, and you do not know what is the techniques and tools that you want to do the reactions and also respond. So visibility is very important. Therefore, when I do any technology updates or I do any so-called approvals of technology to our clients, I will show them how Sangfor reporting tools actually show the visibility, show the value to our client, so that they know our value. I take example. I got a customer actually that been infected by ransomware first time. After remove it 1 week, second time also infected. And also I got also customer, one file being encrypted 2 times by a different ransomware technology. So that we need to have a better visibility to know who are the patient zero and where are the attack path coming on. Is it insider, is it outsider, or any like phishing email, or they actually click any link. So this is very important for you to know where are the attacking path coming on. That's for we are highlighting on the visibility. And then the last one is a better resiliency, because we need to consistently recommend what is a cybersecurity happening right now. Okay, this is very important because these two, right, is quite general, right? Security, visibility. What I mean resiliency here is that because I'm all the while serving your environments, so I also got possibility after I show the report and the security finding I found, you might challenge me, this is a false positive. Because some of my application, yes, they need to do regular scanning of the environments. So you need to escort this IP as a whitelist. So I will become better understanding on my customer environments, so that I can give you a better recommendation for your upcoming planning. For example, you're telling me you want to do the DR drill, or you want to do a cybersecurity drill, right? So I know that what IP or what are the application I should exclude inside this, so that the report and the VCP or cybersecurity is more accurate and appropriate fit inside your environments. This is what we mentioned, better resilience here. Okay, so this is our platform architecture. So after we talk about the challenges, how Sangfor overview solution that we can help, and then this is the platform architectures. So for those who operation-wide or C-level, they want to know what is exactly how Sangfor architecture operate to help my environments. So for your information, actually, you can see from here. So we actually can gather information from the third-party security device, because a lot of people like hurting Sangfor, like, oh, is it that I can only use Sangfor to actually do all this security vulnerability testing, visibility reporting? The answer is no. We are actually open, because we can actually collect some logs from third-party security devices and definitely our own Sangfor security devices, and collect all these things, right, to the big data. We call it SDR, Extended Data Response. So the SDR, right, they have a big brand over there to do analytics, which is coming from our NeuralX and also our TI technology. So after they do analysis, right, then go to the service part. So the service part, right, will be handled by our security product manager or pre-sales manager role, and then include that we have a T1 to T3 security analytic that based in Malaysia. Okay, in fact, over here we go also customer success manager. Why we need all this? Because security, they will consult on security point of view. This one is a technical point of view. But in order to appropriate to present our visibility, the reporting, we call it as converting cybersecurity or converting the technical word to the human language. Because sometimes actually when you drill down into too technical, right, you will be lost. So we need a success manager actually to interpret that what is the reason and behind the scenes to our clients. Then only we will find you what is the device accordingly. Because after you do all the finding, definitely you need to do all the response activity, right? Then we will go to device management and then push all the activity to the Sangfor security devices to do the response. Okay, so it's the workflow and the platform how we actually we do it. And into a little details, I want to know about detail how actually Sangfor do all these things. You'll be showing in this Gantt chart lah. But this chart it seems like application flow chart. Okay, yes and no, because in cybersecurity, right, you can't avoid actually a process and workflow. But we design it for you. And then how we design is throughout all these the workflow from collections to the response. Because first of all, you need to do how to collect the information data. Then second, you do the detections. Then third is do the correlations. Correlation is very important. Huh? Why I say important? Because, for example, you implement a single very strong firewall and you implement a very strong endpoint secure tools. You use the top brand one. And then you also using a very strong switches. So all these things, right, if they do not correlate with each other, actually the thing being shown out to client is meaningless. Because everything they have their own so-called own differentiation and own descriptions on their how from their angle this security logs belong to what. So is the core is very important because you gather all the people's logs and then come up with a single result, also called the traffic, so called the network's behavior. So this is very important. And then fourth, then only you go into investigations. So after investigation, then you notify. The good thing is about notify, right? I not notify you through the email. I notify through a multiple point of view, which is like your WhatsApps. Okay, email definitely this is the first one. Second, through the WhatsApp because Malaysian people use WhatsApp very frequently, ma. Okay, so after you use up WhatsApp, so we know how to apply the response accordingly. Even though, if for example, I said that, oh, you want to react this one, you just reply yes, and then I will configure the policy on behalf. Of course, with all the NDA we've been signed in advance, lah. Right? And if you have got extra requirements saying that I want to integrate with that, what you call, telemedicine, sorry, telephones, all those, we can do it as well. Sorry, Telegram, yeah. Okay, so that is the process, right? I just go through. Okay, so this is the thing. Step 2, control operations. So, yep. And I interpret the very long slide just now into a 3-step. The first one is the service onboardings. So if you're okay with it, so when you do the service onboarding, now the first thing we actually do is actually understand the customer situation and the environment. Okay, and then second, only we do the continuous operation, what I mentioned just now. And then third thing, only I provide the operation visibility. What are the things and mitigation plan that you need to apply inside your environments. This is our services delivery. Then upcoming only, we will do a lot of people, process, and technologies. So the people is very important. Why? Because just now I mentioned, right, the skill set of people. So these people actually referring to what? Sangfor peoples, customer people, and also who are the vendor peoples. So these 3 people need to strongly collaborate with each other, even though we need to create a WhatsApp group, for example. Okay, after creating WhatsApp groups, so what is the key contact point inside there, and what is the objective that we want to finalize in that month, then we need to come up. Then second, only we go to process. After all the people agree with all the process, then we will go to into details. What are the service type and service level that we want to cover? Make sure each of us is understanding and who are the T1, T2, T3, and who responsible for each part. This one need to be clear and process is very important. Without the process, like if you got a lot of people without the process, you can't also do a cybersecurity management well. So third thing is about technology. But technology, right, you need to gather what is the asset recovery. First thing, you need to know what exactly asset that you need to manage in your environments. Because some assets easy exposed to the security vulnerability. Then second, only we need to know what is your network security topology. It's very important on this one because I'm facing difficulty is that every time you log the case, every time you do the report, you need to repropose them. What is your network and your topology again to the same service provider? And sometimes they might miss out. Why? Because the people supporting in the morning and afternoon, even the midnight is all different people. So they will ask you 3 times the same question and you did reply also. Unless you call to the success manager saying that, hey, I need to escalate this one. And only they will start taking concern about this one. So this all technology actually to help you mitigate this kind of redundant work and repeating job. Okay. All right. Then upcoming, I will show you after all this theory, I show you some reporting and visibility. Okay. So after the technology deployment, asset discovery. Okay, I know what is the asset you are, and then all these things, right? So we'll be showing actually inside a purpose interface. So this interface actually including the access discovery, include the IP addresses, what is the OS that you're actually using, and then what kind of devices. Devices, for example, over here, right? So, wow, very bright, huh? I stand. Okay. So all these things, okay, maybe interpret, I explain because this one too bright already. Over brightness, I can say. So we will know what is the IP address, and then where is the DNS coming from, and then what kind of devices they're hosting. So devices including those like OS, what is the versions for them, so easier for you to do the system and the hardware hardening after that. Okay, even though if you using the old hardware, SP7 or the old Microsoft Windows Server. So we also got the solution for you to do the patchings, virtual patchings. Because all these things, they will be no longer applicable inside the traditional one. So we will help you to do that as well. But of course, all these things cannot avoid from the AI because human machine learning is also very important. That's why Sangfor also use a technology of human machine intelligence to actually increase the percentage of doing the cybersecurity threats. Okay, as well as we were also doing the security experience of security professional with what I mentioned just now. Because the longer I serve you, the more deeper that I understand my customer, then the more security advice I can actually provide to my customer. So this is very important because all the while, 2 years or 1 year, actually you sign the contract with a new partner, you sign a contract with the security vendor. Actually, all the time, right, the security information actually you need to redo and redo again because all this NDM, I cannot actually hand over from the vendor A and vendor B. Also, they can't complete on the interest. So information you need to get it again. And in fact, government also the policy to switching 2 or 3 years, the people will be switched to different positions. So all this is actually is informations translations gap because information keep on passing around and don't have an appropriate one. So therefore it create a lot of this kind of conflict when sometimes it's not about the tools, it's about the people who interpret the experience in dealing with customer keep on changing and changing again. Okay, and sometimes we will also related to the detections capability. Wait, now I have 20 minutes, so I still got 10 minutes more. Okay, and then yeah, this is capability on our machine learning because no worry, my customer maybe they have concerns. How advanced is your machine learning are? So I can explain in the high level, which is the inbox one. They have a database and an in-house built-in one. The box itself got the AI already, but the AI in local always not advanced. Same thing like mining. If you do local mining, how much power you want to add in order to do mining? So you need to do the cloud mining sometime. Okay? So same thing actually to the AI. Is it how powerful for your processor to actually run to calculate this kind of behavior? So what we do actually do have local one, and then we will also integrate with a cloud one. So the cloud one got 2 cloud one. One cloud is within the Malaysia, while another cloud which is actually in the global. So it very depends on the customer whether they want to in-house cloud or the global cloud. Customer can choose because of the Malaysia. Sometimes data of the government cannot out of the Malaysia's data locality, so we can do up to that also. So our services performance metrics that actually separate into a few things. So it's actually depends on the threat and also the event. Because sometimes, right, customer might be they saying that, oh, Sangfor, I got a very urgent case that I need to solve. But in fact, that we actually will be actually go and do the investigation on this security service you mentioned is under which critical levels. Okay, so when the critical level, like, it depends on what is the impact they actually create to the customer. So the first one is a non-critical trade. So we will like more below 120 minutes will be resolved lah, which is like 4-hour response time. Okay, so but it is a critical traits after we identify within 30 minutes we might be doing the response. So it depends on non-critical or critical. It depends on whether the attack been successful or not. This is the first thing. And then the second is that event is successful or not. Because sometimes you saw the attack coming on, but inside the logs is saying that all being blocked. This one actually considered still safe yet. Because you know that you punya pencuri, okay, dekat rumah, sebelah rumah. Tapi, okay, he haven't successfully breached inside there. So you are considered a half security, guard over there. But the event is showing that, oh, the main gate is also open already. So this is a critical event. So within 10 minutes we must solve. We need to take out online our guard. Okay, we call police. Everything need to be done very, very immediate. So this is the way how we actually separate the security level on the customer environments. Okay, alert time only 5, and then fast and this is what I mentioned just now. Phone communications, you can call our team effectively because it's all in Malaysia. You can even those communicate in the Malaysian language. Okay, and then we create an instant messages, either it's a telegrams or the WhatsApp groups according to my customer demands. And then also this is the more common one. We will set up the email after all the incident. We will send a report through the emails and appropriate way also. And then this is the visibility through the customer portal. You can see over here. What is the chart of the security event? How many attacks been launched? How many been defense? And then inside every month, how many threats we been detected? Everything actually this one will be reported. Okay, sometimes this one might be not useful to you. Why? Because sometimes a lot of things when we do cybersecurity, right? When there incident, this is important. But sometimes a lot of time we actually doing the auditing. Being all the jabatans, they will be actually questionings. What are because sometimes right, those like security, cybersecurity or NAXA or NC4 team actually will notify you. Hey, you are the malware. You gonna check. They just send an email to you only. Okay, so you need to do your own environment. But of course, this is a good way to practice, which is they have a tools to detect, and then they pass the information to notify the customer. Customer need to bear his own responsibility actually do all this detection. So this detection and the visibility report is used by during that time. Easy for you to identify and quicker for you to identify what are the event. And in fact, right, sometimes without them notify you anything, you already know, and then you already in the solving process. It's actually show your professional to the securities, so-called the government security auditor. Okay, so all this reporting actually we will be showing regularly also lah. So we will show you your overall security postures, your security components inside there, and then what is the asset. Asset go also increase and lower because sometimes people when you do discovery on the asset, right, some people uninstall or some people uninstall your antivirus is most probably, and then how you do all these managements is through the the managements. Okay, so all this reporting will be provided. And then all this reporting, actually the biggest differentiation customer after viewing my report and after viewing other people report, the main thing is actually the false positive. Because when you doing a manual reporting, not to say other vendor doesn't can do up to that level one. It's just that when customer compare, right, okay, my reporting is maybe on the fancy thing is not 100%, maybe 90%. But on the false positive, this one is very important because customer don't need to keep on guessing this is a false positive or non-false positive. So I can tell you, if my customer feedback, my false positive actually is nearly 0, but whereby the others still got 1 or 2. But this is feedback. But this is very subjective. Because sometimes I talk this, right, customer easy question me, hey Keith, how ensure you that? So we do a POC for a client. And then to differentiate what is the differentiation between these two. Okay. So in differentiation, this is a 4 category. So we based on the route to identify the network and endpoint detection and response, what we will be applying. The second, actually, we will leverage on our MDR and EDR technologies because these two is a very key information technology that we apply. Network detection, because I want to know your networks, and then we also use the endpoint technology to detect endpoint. So gateway, networks, endpoint, all these things I will categorize as a SDR and do the logs, visibility, respond accordingly. Okay, all this will be going on. So in the total, what is the benefit after you do all this? So of course, you enhance your security operations. What I hear is enhanced security operation with not to say like just normal enhancement. Because I want to save your security operator time also. I don't want you to headache midnight, then need to wake up, listen to the call saying that, oh, so sorry, my website is down. Okay, my website is being encrypted or my database being attacking by SQL injections. So all these things you will be worried and you cannot sleep well in the midnight. And it seriously happened in Malaysia, not only in the movie. Okay, and second thing is to increase your security overall security postures, because all the time, right, all the people is talking about security posture, security architecture is very very important, but in fact they do not know, and they do not know who to contact for the advisory for how to improve my security postures. So from here, like what I mentioned, I got security PM here, I got a T1 to T3 in Malaysia, and in fact I also got a customer success manager. So they will go and study the customer behavior and then do the advice accordingly. Yeah, I mean I can commit this one because why? Because for those things that I don't cover, right, I will tell my customer upfront. I do not over commit my customer saying that, oh, everything security I can do. If someone tell you all the security after using my product 100%, that one I don't think so in the market can do. Even though they can do, right, maybe they actually some compensations after being implemented they covered by insurance, because alone a single technology they don't have a technology actually to cover 100% of cybersecurity. That is the reason why we are here today. The third, which is leverage on virtual security operation, because we built our virtual SOC team in Malaysia, okay, T1 to T3 in all in-house, because some of the people will be worried. Your security, oh Keith, you mentioned you 60 people, then you say how many of you is outsourcing? They'll be questioning. No, all is actually our in-house. We do not outsource any cybersecurity services to the external. So this one it create a lot of confidence to our client, because all is Sangfor people. Because when we talk about this one, why it's so important? Because you sign NDA with Sangfor, right? You don't sign with third party. So any goes wrong, they might easily avoid. Oh, it's the Sangfor sign NDA with customer, not the outsourcing one. So this one we can be in guarantee. No worry on that. Okay, and then we will also experience a better organization of the security policy, okay, and the process to proven the efficiency. Because every time, right, actually when they started only the first were tough part, because after implement all these things, right, there always be a fine tuning. So after like we implemented 2 or 3 weeks, we go and fine tune. After 3 months, we go and fine tune again. Because security posture, right, it doesn't actually configure one time, But in fact, now a lot of people only configure one time of security policy, then you just let it be. But a lot of time, this one is the problems. It create a lot, because your applications, your IP, your asset keep on changing, but you're still applying the old technology, and then plus together with your IP address, that will create a big impact to security. Okay, this is where shadow asset or shadow IT coming from as well. So next step, what we'll be doing here is actually, first of all, you engage with us if you got interested after our sections today, okay, or go to our booth over there, just beside Microsoft, the entrance room. Okay, so you can contact our people over there. We will be staying here for the 4 days event, looking for the cyber guidance or the MDR services, and then see how I benefit to your organizations. Second, okay, keep in touch to our partner program or the customer program, because regularly we will do some of our customer event. For example, because this technology, like less headache. Why I say less headache is that I don't need to go environment say that how many traffic you have, how big partner you have, how many assets you have. You just let me know how many IP that you want to help me to cover for you. Then I will launch these services for you. Okay. Mainly, these services will be covering on the server IP. It's an important one. Okay, and then the third thing, after we settle down and then you discuss how many IP you need, then we will show you your plannings. You need to give me your planning about how you want to increase your security awareness. What is the more important thing, especially like the cyber security frameworks. Except recently, a lot of people also start questioning about the ESG. Okay, environments, social, as well as government. So all these things is very important. And then we also have a consultancy actually to advise you how to do all this ESG, and then we will achieve together and set what is the goal that you want to achieve in the next year or next 2 year planning for your organizations. All right, I think I'm just on time. Sorry, I 2 minutes left. So that's all for today, my vision. So if you got any questions, my name is Keith, you can always find me in the sections of just during the entrance, just turn left. Okay, all right. Thank you for all the people here and listening for my half an hour sections discussions. So yeah, we will meet you in soon. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kisley, for the wonderful presentation. Give a big round of applause to Mr. Kisley.